What's up, everybody? It's your girl, P. Coffee Brown, here with the hot seat, and we are fired up and excited tonight. We have a wonderful segment planned for you guys to be able to join on tonight. And we're honored to have our honored co-host in the building, Taylor. What's up? How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you doing tonight?
You know what? I'm excited. We got a brand new author coming to the building. It's gonna be exciting. So, what was your thoughts about the book? How did you like the book?
I like it. I like the balance part, right? It talks about um balance and how sometimes our expectations,
Ooh,
what we perceive
ooh,
somebody else doing, we think that we're gonna have the same journey.
mm,
And until we walk in our own shoes and realize that it ain't as easy as we thought it would be,
right?
because we have our different challenges and ups and downs and hurdles that we have to walk through and create, and we have to create um, our own journey. I mean, our own path, right? And
Right.
so I like the book. I like it.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I'm glad you did. I said, Taylor, you got to get the book and read it over the weekend. You're like, Coffee, I'm sick of you trying to tell me what to do, but okay. So, what's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's edition of the Hot Seat. Taylor and I have a special guest coming to the building. We also have another special guest coming to the building. He is our number one selling author in the history of the company. So, we have him present with us tonight as well. And we're going to be talking to Christy Thibodeaux. She's a brand new author. Her brand new book called The Balancing Act. It's an absolutely amazing publication that she officially released today. So you guys have got to go and snatch that at Amazon.com. She's offering a special promo for her ebook for 99 cents as she's in a race to head to bestseller. So let's get our guests in the building, Coach Chrissy and Jason Thibodeaux. So welcome into the hot seat, everybody. Welcome. What's up?
Hello, hello.
Welcome. We're excited to have you guys in the building on tonight. Coach Chrissy, congratulations on your brand new publication.
Thank you.
How you
Thank you so
feeling?
very much. I'm excited. I'm excited about this.
Awesome.
It's great.
Nervous jitters, butterflies.
Nervous jitters, but it's excited nervous jitters, so it's not that bad.
Awesome. So, Chrissy, everybody, now that everybody's on the platform, go ahead and you guys spread the wealth on your personal pages so that your communities will have access to the segment while we're live. We want everybody to be able to chime in while we're live and holler at you if they have any questions or anything. So they can do that, and we'll be able to scroll the actual questions across the screen while we're live tonight. So that's going to be
Wow.
exciting. If anybody has questions that they want to direct towards you about your new book. So we also have Jason Thibodeaux. The significance of having Jason Thibodeaux here is Jason and Chrissy are married, and they are our second couple to actually publish with the publishing house. So we have two couples, to Mitchell and Chris Pratcher were the first couple to publish, both the husband and the wife. Now we have Chrissy and Jason both being published, but Jason is our number one selling author. He has sold more books than me. And I'm embarrassed to say, because I did check the numbers and he still has outranked me with sales. And I don't appreciate it. I really don't. But at the same time, I don't mind.
But that's
I
a very
have to live with that.
It is what it is, It is what it is. I trained them. I coached them well.
there you go.
I think I overcoached.
I'm seeing that I'm going to have to take that from him in a little bit. That's okay.
Come on, bring
Okay.
competition.
Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with it. There is nothing wrong with it. So, Chrissy, let me ask you. I know you have two amazing daughters, and of course, you're married and you're an educator. How long have you been in education?
I have been in education for 19 years. Well, officially.
Taylor.
I come from an education-rich family, though. So really, education just kind of runs deep through my blood. I tried to get away from it, but it snatched me back.
You let it have you, huh?
Yes, my grandparents, my aunts, uncles, it runs on both sides of my.
Wow.
So I tried,
Wow. Wow.
and it just kind of took hold of me. And
Taylor, sound like she got smuggled in or something.
I know. She's not going anywhere. She's a lifer. That's what they say, right? A
yeah,
lifer.
that's what they
Definite
say.
lifer. You are a definite lifer. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. You do deal with the younger community, the tiny humans in
Yes, the
preparation
tiny
for their
humans.
yes. And statistically, it's been said on a number of different Psychology Today, certain publications that I read when I was taking psychology in college, that the educators of the formative years are much more important than any other educator experience, quote unquote, that a child will have, because those formative years are such an impressionable time in a child's development. And so, with that, Chrissy, have you had any stories of students that have come back and kind of found you and were like, I remember when I was in your class?
Oh my gosh. It's sad because I have a whole plethora of those. I have a lot of kids that my own kids are like, Mom, we can't go anywhere without somebody saying, oh my gosh, Miss Thibodeaux, I remember you. Uh, they're working out. It was so funny because we were taking Kennedy, my oldest, to college. And the tour guide she had was my student. And he was like, I was registering her and getting her ready for the tour of the campus. And he was like, Miss Thibodeaux. I was like, oh God, okay. Hey. And she was like, Mom, that was one of your students. He was like, yeah. And so I was
Wow.
like, oh wow. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, but I tell my students all the time, I said, once you have me, you always have me. And they know, even if they move schools, districts, grade levels, they've always got a teacher in me. And they come back, they ask, they tell me, hey, I still have my journal. They'll tell me, hey, I need some tutoring in this or that. Can you help me? I didn't get it the way this teacher is showing me. Can you help me a little bit more on this one? So I've had kids sprint across parking lots saying, hey, I see you during the summer. I've been shopping in stores, and they
Oh,
come.
that's
I'm in
cool.
college now. I have a job. Yeah, we were shopping this summer for a prom dress
Wow.
for Kennedy as well, and ran across a student in a store, and they sold us
Wow. That's
clothes.
cool. That is cool. That is very, very cool. So let me ask you a few questions about the book now that we've talked about your career pathing and all that good stuff. So we're going to talk about this book. So Chrissy's new book is called The Balancing Act. You Don't Have to Walk a Tightrope Through Teaching and Life. And it was published
Yeah.
by our publishing house. Jason is our PR person. Of course, I am the founding mother of the company, if you will, the founding mother of the company. And just had an awesome time getting to know Chrissy and getting to know her thoughts and ideas about this book. And what I found most interesting, and I know Taylor can appreciate this, Taylor, the semantics inside of the book. Chrissy was driving me nuts. He was literally driving me nuts, Taylor. But Taylor can appreciate this because he does a lot with film and videography and all that kind of stuff. And so semantics are everything, truthfully, because one little thing, come on, Taylor, come on off mic. One little thing can just kill everything. And Chrissy was expressing that with the publication. She was like, Koffe, if this is not here, then this is not there. And this is not there, then that's not here. And this is not that, and that is not this. And I was like, I said, because Jason is in charge of our PR. I said, Jason, can you give me some insight into Chrissy or something? Because I'm like, he said, no, I ain't gonna be able to help you. I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, I done submitted it 27 times. And she'll come back and, just like an educator, Taylor, she'll say, while I love page 85, page 91 has a slight error. And if we can rectify that, then I'm certain. I was like, oh, here we go. Here's the
Oh,
teacher
I
again.
remember that email. My bad. I'm sorry.
No, but Taylor can relate to that because with him being and Jason as well with the semantics and things like that. When you're doing a project, regardless of if it's a book, if it's a film, anything, theater, anything where the public is going to view it, it's got to be excellent. Period. So I definitely applaud you for paying attention to the little things, which cause big things in the long run. And then somebody else would have noticed it and so on and so forth. So I'm actually glad that you caught it because I would not have caught it as a publisher because that's my intent is to make certain that the editing is stellar, the publication is packaged properly, we got the high resolution this and that and all the marketing and all that stuff is handled. Nonetheless, the little intimate details about your publication, that weight of responsibility is on you. And so
As,
you did a great job with that.
as a teacher, if another teacher looks at it, they eat me up.
Exactly. Here's the deal. I had to live with it. So thing is, before she came back to you, we used to have conversations, and she was like, "But I wanted it like I had it, and the editor changed it." I was like, "Well, I'm not the one you need to tell."
Yeah. And and a lot of times when it comes to and this has been a lesson that I've learned, and I think I shared this with you, Taylor, that a lot of times editors don't have a personality attached when they're editing. So they don't know the personality of the person that they're editing the work. And with them not knowing the personality, they can miss the creativity of the person attached to the publication. So you got to go back and get them to kind of get familiar without being familiar with a person, if that makes sense. So Taylor, when you were reading the book, could you sense just now from listening to Chrissy talk, could you sense that that's her book?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's you have to read the book to get the understanding. You can't just skim over the book and thinking that you're gonna grasp what is said. It's detailed, right? You can tell that you have to pay attention. It's this, you if you take your eyes off of one line, you might miss an important piece of what what the puzzle is. So yeah, I can see now the author
Yes, yes,
and
and
the
that
book.
yes, it goes together. And
It goes
and
hand in hand.
yes, and that's something that we pride ourselves here in at DFG Publishing House is that we make sure that the personality of the person that actually did the publication is never compromised. Because when they come on here and we're talking about their book and somebody gets that book in their hand, they go, oh my God, yes, that's Chrissy's book. It is. It really is. She really did write that. And so, we always want to do that when it comes to writing. And I remember when Jason wrote something and he said that the two of you had a conversation about it and you were encouraging him to change something. He's like, no, I'm not changing it. So then when we read it and we sent it to editing, I was like, Jason said this for real. Like, this is something he was saying. Like, he was saying just
It was
that way.
just that way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and when I read it again, I was like, okay, that's his words, and that's the way he sounds.
Right.
The way that I want it was the way that I sound.
Yeah, and it sounds just like you. And Taylor and I were talking about it before we actually came into the studio, and he was like, "This is a teacher's book for real." I was like, "It is a teacher's book for real.
Yes,
It is
and in
definitely
all
for teachers."
actuality, it was so funny because I sold the book to a teacher, and she just actually just opened it up, and she said, "You have graphic organizers," and I said, "Wow." She said, "This is such a teacher book. It has graphic organizers." I said, "Oh, great." I said, "So there's no disguising that one."
That's refreshing though, because amongst your peers, that's a good thing. Especially amongst your peers, because that brings you in as an authority, and it also gives a different level of respect now that they have seen that you have gone to do a publication. So That's a good thing. That's a great thing. Jason, you
Oh
were in
gosh,
time.
it
Yeah,
made me smile.
we
I
didn't.
know.
I was gonna make sure we didn't skirt past the fact that she actually said that I won a battle in this household.
Oh my gosh,
I
really?
just wanted to make sure we actually had that on, documented,
We're gonna
What
skip.
battle did you win, Jason?
because she was trying to change my words and I actually won something in the household. I just want to make sure we got that. Taylor, make sure that's one for the guys. Let's make sure we get.
We're gonna skim past that very fast. Let's not go revisit that.
One tick for the guys.
Boppy, why are you making
We're
that?
gonna erase that.
Hey, you started it. So if you're just tuning in with us, welcome to this week's edition of The Hot Seat. We have our brand new author, Christy Thibodeaux, in the building, and we're chatting it up with her about her brand new book, The Balancing Act. You don't have to walk a tightrope through life and teaching. It is a phenomenal publication, and it does have some great opportunities for you to get in there and take some really copious notes and share your own thoughts and ideas. She does have some areas in the book where you can do that. And it's a phenomenal publication. And we're excited that she had an opportunity to publish it. So tonight, she is offering her ebook for 99 cents as an introductory, just to say thank you to you guys for grabbing it. So head on over to Amazon and snatch your copy. If you're interested and you want an autographed copy of Chrissy's new book, you'll be following the link that you see on your screen in order to grab the publication. And after we're off the live segment, Chrissy will put her information in the actual chat on the social media platform for you guys to be able to connect with her directly if you're interested and something resonated with you throughout the conversation. So Chrissy, when you actually came up with this idea of this book, how long ago was that?
It actually was probably around a year ago. When we were going through COVID, and there were so many teachers that started to fizzle out. They were starting to get burned out, and burnout is seriously going rampant in the teaching field. Educators are really starting to get burned out because there's a lot being put on their plate, and there's really only so much that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And because there's only so much you can do, you actually have to change your mindset and to understand that you can only put out there as much as you can, and then treat yourself. And I think in the world of education, we forget that.
Mm-hmm.
You actually have to treat yourself in order to give to someone else. And as educators, a lot of times we give and give and give and give and give, that we forget to give to ourselves, and we also forget to give to our families. I was that teacher that spent my days and nights and everything that I had to my students, to my school. And then when I came home, I really didn't have anything left for my family at all. And it became a big issue at my house. So I didn't have, and not let alone the little bit that I had left for my house, I didn't have anything left for me. So then I was totally drained, that I didn't know what to do. So it just kind of compounded into this ball of nothingness that I became. So I just felt that I needed to put something out there to where people could get kind of where I am, to where I kind of had to change my mindset and my thought process on, you know what, I'm going to give what I can give.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I can give. And I'm going to prioritize a few things in my life. And then after I was able to do that, I was able to get as much as I could get done at work. And I got my home life together. And miraculously, everything that I needed to do started to getting done. And I was living a more fulfilled life. And people also knew my boundaries. They stopped asking me
And
for
that's
all of those
huge.
extra
That
things.
is huge, to have boundaries in place to where people are extremely clear on the expectation and how much access they have and what's going to really happen when they connect with you and they know what's up. That's phenomenal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was being asked to do so many things that they didn't ask other people. I was being asked to do way more. And I felt kind of obligated to do, especially once I decided that I was going to do something else. And then how dare I say no to this? So then it just kind of compounded into something else. And it was horrible. And Jason was like, look, I need you. The kids need you. I'm angry at everything because I had nothing left. So it was just a horrible situation. So I had to figure out something.
And I love that you put it in the chapters of a book. That was brilliant to be able to really say, you know what, I've experienced this. I need to take what I've learned and put it into a publication because I can't possibly be the only person that's had to deal with this. So that was really brilliant. So kudos to you for putting pen to paper and putting it in the page of the book. I will tell you this. I shared with Jason. I think I told Taylor as well. Chrissy is the only writer that I've had so far that pretty much came with a packaged manuscript. When I got her manuscript, I was like, this child is onto something. Praise God. While we had to do our usual editing, it was refreshing because we didn't have to go through so much transformative change to get it to a very clean publication. So kudos to you on that, Christy. Let's go through a few of the chapters in the publication. Now, of course, guys, I'm not going to divulge a whole lot of information because we definitely want you to get the book. We want you to go grab it. It is 99 cents for the ebook. The actual publication itself for the paperback, it's going to be $21.97. Also, if you want to grab an autographed copy, Chrissy is autographing copies and she will ship them out to you. The link is going to be provided on your screen again throughout the broadcast for you to have access to that information and be able to take care of her by snatching that publication. And even if you're not interested directly, you know somebody who is an educator somewhere who could add this to their actual arsenal of amazing publications that they live by. This is a life book. It really is. It's a great life book for educators, and it's a great reference guide that you can go back to time after time just to get some refreshers and just to get some feel good and remind yourself of a lot of different things. So I'm going to go to chapter 6. Talks about treating yourself. You started off chatting about that just a few moments ago. So when you say treat yourself, can you just elaborate a little bit without giving them too much of the publication? But what does it really mean when you say you need to treat yourself as an educator? What does that mean?
Something that we never do. Treating yourself is basically paying yourself for your good deed. It's nothing really specific. Whatever makes you feel good. It's not anything real big. It doesn't have to be big. You don't have to go out and go to Jamaica. If you want to go to Jamaica, you can. If you do,
Right.
take me with you.
Right.
But no, you can't go. Most educators are females. No, that ain't going. No, I'm not doing that. But they're just treating yourself every once in a while. Not even every once in a while. Really, with every paycheck, you should pay yourself for what you did. You did something. You worked. You worked hard. Pay yourself with something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, another thing you did in here, you have a quote. It's a funny thing about life. Once you begin to take note of the things you're grateful for, you begin to lose sight of the things that you lack. Convince yourself that you are worthy of a good life. Let go of stress, breathe, stay positive. All is well. Germany Kent, the Hope Handbook. And then you also have an affirmation in here. I will reward myself for my ability to flourish amongst positive and negative influences. I understand my well-deserved reward is no one else's job to dole out. It's mine. If I wait on others, I may never truly understand my worth. What an affirmation. Taylor, what an affirmation. If I wait on somebody else, I may not understand my worth. Taylor, could we not use that on all kinds of platforms for some people?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, a lot of times, hmm, I, a lot of times we depend on other people, right? And we look to other people, and sometimes we die with our worth. Sometimes we die with our worth. So yeah, that's a great affirmation.
It was great. I was
And
like,
to remind us that, hey, stop looking at other people.
yes,
You are worthy of going
yes,
on that journey.
yes. And Jason, so let me ask you, Jason, when Chrissy was in the midst of this, you had already written a few books, maybe two by the time she started putting
Yep.
pen to paper for this publication. Did you have to inspire her at any point on the journey to keep pushing?
A little, not a lot. As she mentioned, we've definitely bumped our heads over the years. Still do from time to time, because getting a good work life balance is not easy. It's an ongoing battle. The reason being is because they're always going to ask of you. And if you allow yourself to be at their will, then of course your home life will always suffer, at least some, right? Um, didn't have to push her as much at all. I mean, it was really interesting to where she and I had some conversations, and it sounded pretty much like this. I don't care if you're busy all the time. My mother was busy all of the time. I just care if you're doing stuff for other people all the time and not doing for you. So she'd go lock herself in the office and she would get to writing. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm writing my book, but I'd leave her alone. Now, if she was in the office all night long or all weekend long and she said, I'm working on curriculum for the kids, I was like, oh no, you're not. I, yeah, yeah.
That's a strong
You're
hell
gonna have
no.
to go do something else. If
That's a
you're doing
strong hell no.
something, no.
Correct.
I mean, I don't mind some, but no, you're gonna come out here. I don't care. You're gonna come out here and watch some football with me or something, but you're gonna do something other than just working on curriculum, because
They don't appreciate it.
you find yourself depressed, you find yourself in a rut, you find yourself not doing for yourself, you find yourself turning around and waking up one day and your kids are leaving to go to college or out the house, or they have other things going on, and you never paid attention to the fact that this was happening. So I'm a workaholic myself. I'm always busy doing something, whether it's working on cars, acting, hanging out with the kids, family, whatever, but I've always been the type of person to where if you're going to stay busy, make sure you're doing something for yourself. And that's one of the things that I would definitely say, that when she took on this project, she started it and she saw it through completion. And excuse me, that's one of the things that I can admire the most. One of the things I hate are fit people. They always fitting to do something, never really do it, never get it.
I'm fin to do it.
I hate fitting the people. They always fitting to do something, finna get this car, but no job, that type of stuff, but when it comes down to it, I mean, she buckled down and she made it happen. I mean, she would let me read a couple things here and there to make sure it made sense, but really and truly, she took this project, she owned that project, and she saw it through to completion, and I admire her for that.
Awesome stuff. Christy, you got some big kudos tonight. You got two guys in your corner, honey.
Check.
Listen, Taylor loved the book. Of course, Jason was like, I think Christy did a good job with this book. He did tell me that before I even got the manuscript, when you were contemplating getting it published. And he was like, I think Christy did a good job with this book. Go ahead, Taylor.
You know what's very interesting about this book? And I know this is maybe judging, I guess, or no, I would say judging.
Critique.
No. It's not even critique. I think it's what's the word when you assumption, like assume.
Ah, gotcha.
Because Chrissy is a woman, right? But when when I look at this book, first of all, I couldn't tell that this book is from a woman.
Right.
That's number one. The color scheme. Like if you pick this book apart. Number two, I can't tell if this book is from a man either, because it gives it gives a how to put it. It gives like the only word I could use is unisex. It gives like a unisex. So this can be appealed from, you know, to a man or to a woman just by looking at how everything is, the balancing act. Man, I love the color. It's popping, it's appealing, but I also love what's inside the book. Like I said earlier when I was talking to P. Koffe, and of course I won't say the stuff that's in the book because I want people to go out and get it. But until you walk that road, just by looking at somebody else, it ain't the road you think you're gonna be on. And so there's some stuff that you can do. And like I said, I love how you go into it, and you give some different stories and stuff. So anyway, that's all I gotta say. I love it.
And you know, it's funny, so the way that we approach it is we give our authors, you know, some access to different images that we can purchase to have the rights to publish it on the publication. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, let me throw some color on there. That's gonna be nice. And myself and my graphic team, we kept going back and forth playing with the color. But I said, I think blue speaks to it because you got that trust factor there. You got that balance of gender neutral.
Yeah.
That, and then you've got the bold focus on balancing act. That's what we're the bold focus on that. And then, you know, that work with that big old red at the top of work to basically say, okay, now we don't want you to think that the life part is blue, signifying calm and peace and tranquility. Like, go live. It's not all about work. So, you know, and you already know I'm a huge proponent of making certain that when you see a publication, it not only grabs your eye, but it makes you want to pick it up.
100%.
Yeah.
I see that book, I'm picking the book up.
Yeah. It's a power book, you know. I did some research on books similar to this, and all of them are they all have a familiarity to them. They don't look the same, but they have a nice familiarity to them when it comes to this type content. And I saw one that kind of really grabbed my attention, but I said, oh, that's too much. It was more of a masculine energy. And I said, no, I want to keep it with the neutral vibration. So like Taylor mentioned, no one will be able to say unequivocally who wrote the book. Was it a guy? Was it a girl? Who is Christy?
It's true.
You know,
it's true.
It's really a great book for any educator to be able to benefit from. And that's what we were after. We wanted to make sure that all educators had a fair opportunity to enjoy the content, and not feel like it's a girly book or a dude book, but it's an educator's book for anyone who is going to be in that space and have the positive, you know, vibes and energy to be able to address the needs of children, regardless of the age group. This publication is going to be that value adder for sure.
There was one thing I also wanted to bring up is even though this book is written and catered more to the teaching field, it's not just for teachers.
No, it's not.
It's anybody who has a strenuous work life, you know, work home balance, because teaching is not the only field that requires a lot of time and is also very demanding. I mean, nurses, anybody could pick up this book. It could definitely help you, especially with your home life. So that's one of the things I tell people as well. It's like, well, your wife's a teacher. You know, it looks like, you know, you're saying that she wrote this for teachers and everything else. I was like, well, that's her audience that she's catering to, but that's people that will benefit from this book. So anybody who's out there watching it, if you're saying, well, y'all keep talking about the teaching field and I'm not a teacher, here's the deal. It can help you. it can definitely help you learn from those experiences to which you hear her talking about. I mean, I'm right here. You see, I'm not upset because this is definitely something that we've gone through, right? It
Mm-hmm.
can definitely help you with your own household.
Wow, your brain was actually going the same place as mine, Jason, because I was actually going to say exactly what you were going to say. There are some teaching words in there. There are some pieces in there that are geared kind of towards teaching, but even with some of those terminologies, you're going to find some of those same types of people at other jobs that are going to do the same thing. There's some of those same behaviors that are there that you're still going to find. Treating yourself is universal at any job. So having the positive mindset, same thing. So again, just because it's kind of geared towards teachers, it can go towards any type of job that's there, any kind of career that's strenuous, and you're having a hard time getting both of those to kind of match and come in the middle, and you being able to balance both of those out. So yes, I was actually going to say the same thing, Jason.
And another thing too about the publication that is really good. I like publications where you have an opportunity to engage. And so with the publication, you do give opportunities for the community to engage and actually write certain things, answer specific questions that are inside of the book. And so it really is a good resource and a great tool for people to go back to. I have several books that I have workbooks, and every now and then I'll go back to see how I was thinking during that time frame, just to say, wow, I don't think anything like that anymore. And it's so beautiful to see your own evolution. And when you go back, I always date and time stamp when I journal. I date and time stamp. So when I go back, I go, man, in 2019 at 2:53 p.m. on March the 5th, this is what I was thinking. What in the heck that was going on with me that day? And so it's a really good thing because inside of the book, you have several opportunities where you can write and respond to some action steps inside. And then if you date and timestamp that, you go revisit that same space a year from now, you're going to see so much difference within yourself, hopefully, from
Hopefully you've
having
grown.
applied what you've learned from the book. So it's definitely a strong coaching slash teaching tool as far as for you to be able to um, check your own life, see what's going on with you, and how you can work things out for your work and for your life, for you to be able to enjoy life while you're in pursuit of whatever it is you're in pursuit of. And I love what Jason talked about. And when he talked about the workaholic, but then if you paid attention, he said, I'm spending time with my mom, I'm spending time with my wife, spending time with the kids. It's not work, but I understand what he means. He's always contemplating what's next, contemplating what moves that we're going to make, but at the same time, investing in those that are important. And this is kind of like one of those now books. If you ever read The Power of Now, Edgar Tolle talks about staying in the moment. This is one of those books that can help you kind of stay right here because it's going to cause you to have to think in that moment about where you are, not where you're headed, but where you are. And it's so important to be able to have publications like this where you can stay in the moment to learn. This is going to be a phenomenal book to add to your library. We are definitely not going to prolong the hour. This is just a time for us to get Chrissy here on the show to make sure you guys know who she is, know about this incredible publication that she's done. This is her official release. It's her official launch. We're super excited that Chrissy has done this publication. And what we want to do is give you guys some action steps. And that is to follow the link that you see on your screen. Go ahead and grab your autographed copy. Then head on over to Amazon and go ahead and snatch the Amazon copy of the ebook and show some support. You can grab as many as you want. 1 to 1,000 to 2,000, doesn't even matter. It makes for great Christmas gifts. It also makes for great gifts for other educators or individuals, like Chrissy indicated, and Jason, that have more stressful positions or high impact positions that cause them to have to be away from their family for extended periods of time. So this will help them to kind of keep the dots connected between that work and the life that they want to enjoy with their families. So definitely do that. Go over, head over and connect. Grab that book. You're going to be so glad you did. It's a phenomenal publication. Everybody here has read it and enjoyed it immensely. And we definitely want you guys to have an opportunity to do that. The final action step is, once you grab the publication and you have it and you've had an opportunity to read it, we ask that you go on Amazon and leave her a 5-star review with your commentary about the publication. What it does for Chrissy is it helps her to stay at the top of the algorithm on Amazon and keeps her publication visible. The more reviews she has, the more visibility she begins to get. So that's a phenomenal way for you to do digital currency by simply doing that for her. And for those of you that would like to sponsor, and say, for instance, you don't really want the publication, but you want to add value to a number of educators, definitely send me a DM so that we can see what packaging that Chrissy is willing to offer for multiple copies of the publication. So send us a DM and we'll work with Chrissy as far as how she wants to address that. If you want to do multiple publications and have an opportunity to be of huge value to some educators who may not be in a position to grab the book right now. So we want to make sure that we add to them as well. So Chrissy, as we're getting ready to head out for the night, definitely want to hear some final words for you about this publication, your excitement, and how people can connect with you.
Well, I'm absolutely excited, and I'm thankful and grateful for everyone who has already purchased and has gone already to the websites and grabbed their copy. I am on Facebook, and I am also on Instagram as well, under 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 Christy Thibodeaux, on Facebook, and Christy Thibodeaux on Facebook, on Instagram as well. And my PayHip is CTIP Coaching as well. I also am a life coach with a special interest in teaching. I do life coaching for teachers, and I'm a consultant for teachers as well. So those that need a little bit of extra help to kind of get them on the right path as well, they can give me a shout on Facebook and or on Instagram, and let me know what they that they're interested in consulting as well, and I could help them there.
Awesome. Awesome. Fantastic. So she has some services and product that she can offer to you guys. So definitely get connected with Chrissy. Chrissy will be putting her information in the chat as soon as we're done with the segment. So you'll be able to access her there as well and grab that information to be able to connect with her. So Taylor, as we head out, any final words for our brand new author? Any encouragement for her tonight?
Oh, absolutely. I'm telling you, I really, when it comes to teachers, I really, really praise them, because, the things that they have to deal with, sometimes they're mothers and fathers for these kids at school, right? Because sometimes school is their refuge. You don't know what they're going through in the home and what have you. So teachers just have a special place in my heart, and the stuff that they have to put up with and, kind of guide and lead. These are our future, your kids. And so, they also, teachers need to be refueled, right?
Absolutely.
And so that's where the home come in, right? And so they need that other half, to kind of encourage them and uphold them, and, listen to their their stories that they bring home and the things that they're going through. But like I said, I love the book. I love what is said in the book, from the outside to the inside. And so I just want to say congratulations to you. And I'm looking for more, right? For more from you, right? Because you have a lot of experience, and especially in the field that you're in, and things that you have seen. And not only that, you really, because you're spending so many times with these kids, probably more than the parent, right? Because believe it or not, at work you're spending more time with the person. So you have a lot of insight into what's going on and their behaviors and what have you. So hopefully you can, beat your husband, and publishing more books.
Listen, honey,
Working on it.
Listen, I want to see her do it, honey. You hear me? I want to see her do it, honey. I'll be over here cheering her on.
I can't let him outdo me.
I hear you.
He's gonna use that every day. He's gonna use it every day, all day.
I hear you. So, Jason, any final thoughts, any final encouragement for Chrissy tonight as we get ready to head out?
Yeah, definitely keep up the good work. I'm very proud of you. I agree with what Taylor said. Teachers have a special place in my heart as well. My godmother, my aunt, was a special ed teacher ever since I've known her. She's working with kids now. So to anybody out there listening to this or watching the show, I would definitely say respect the teachers. I know a lot of times the administrators, they don't get the same protections that they did back in the 80s and 90s and stuff. So a lot of parents, when they do get upset, they have direct access to the teachers, which adds to their stress. And a lot of times they can kind of go around the administrators whenever they do have concerns. So definitely respect your teachers, because you keep in mind, like Taylor said, and I was going to make the point anyway, they spend a lot of intimate time with your child, in terms of discipline, in terms of learning, etc. So it's very stressful. I mean, think about it. As a parent, we have a lot of different things going on in our households, whether it's economics, whether it's alcohol, drugs, gambling, who knows, whether you have other relatives staying with you, etc. And your kid goes to school with that, so they're bringing that baggage from whatever's going on at the house that may not be positive to school. And these teachers are the ones that are trying to keep them positive as well as teach them. So, like I said, I'm very proud of her. That work, I keep saying work life, but it's really work home balance is very, very, very important. This book is great for onboarding. So if there's any administrators or anybody in leadership positions that's watching or listening, this is an excellent and very powerful book for onboarding, because what's happening these days is that a lot of people are getting into these high stress fields for a career and they're getting burnout really quick. And this is something that can definitely help them balance what's going on within that career as well as their life. But
I love it. I love it.
Congratulations.
I love it. Yeah. You're right. This would be a great tool to have in someone's swag bag on their first day at work, for sure.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Taylor.
Remember during COVID time, when your kids was at home and you couldn't believe that this is your child. Now imagine these teachers is dealing with that child of yours that you couldn't believe that you birthed this child.
Lord.
Plus 20
that child.
Yeah.
Times 20.
That's true though. That's true. That is very true. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in for tonight's edition of The Hot Seat. Again, Chrissy is our brand new author who just released her publication today. We want to definitely celebrate her by snatching a copy or several copies. You can go right on to Amazon, The Balancing Act, Christy Thibodeaux, and you'll be able to retrieve not only the ebook, but the paperback if you're interested in either one of those. She is in a Blitz 2 bestseller. She's also offering the book for 99 cents for just a couple of days while she's in her Blitz to the bestsellers list. Again, the link is posted right on the screen. for you to be able to grab the publication from her directly if you want an autographed copy. If not, you can definitely head over to Amazon.com. The Balancing Act, Christy Thibodeaux, and you'll be able to retrieve it from there and grab your copy. Grab your copy. Grab your copy. We got ours. We got ours. All right. So thank you all for tuning in and tapping in and being here with us for this week's edition of the Hot Seat Special Authors Edition with Christy Thibodeaux. And of course, the Hot Seat family. You guys have seen Jason a million times. And of course, Taylor is also an intricate part of the family now. So we're excited to have you guys chime in on tonight. So tune in and tap in next week. We got some juicy stuff going on next week. Ooh, wait. Woo, it's gonna be some firecrackers up in here next week. All right. So you guys have a great night. Until then, it is Yom Kippur. So it's really a wonderful time. And we already went through Rosh Hashanah. And so happy beginning of a new year. A lot of y'all didn't know that. It's at the high point of the year. Yeah. For spiritual Israel.
Yep.
Yeah. So Taylor's over there talking about ain't no New Year's.
I thought she was talking in tongues.
It is the entrance.
Right.
It is the head. It is the head of the year for spiritual Israel. All right.
I thought you were speaking in tongues.
No.
Sorry.
No.
I was
No.
like,
I'm speaking English. It's the head of the year for spiritual Israel. Today is Yom
That's the beauty
Kippur.
of being a teacher. I
Yeah.
knew what he was talking about.
Yeah. See, I am an educator. I'm an educator as well, Taylor, in case you didn't know it. Okay. So y'all have an amazing night. Right? Chrissy, thanks so much for being with us tonight. And we will see you guys again on another edition of the Hot Seat. Good night, everybody. Blessings.
Thank you for
See y'all
having me.
soon.
Y'all have a great